I met with Gore Verbinski. I went to his studio and he showed me all these incredible images of an armadillo, but all black and white, and and these incredible creatures of the desert. And being Australian, I love an arid landscape, and I was totally transfixed. I thought, this is amazing. And then once he said Johnny Depp was attached, it's a no-brainer. I mean, he's brilliant. I didn't know much about the genre of the Western films, and I hadn't seen any of them, and I had to sit down and totally educate myself before I did the movie. Gore is so specific about what he wants, and he's so, he had the movie so clearly in his head that it was really easy. And we talked about voices, and in the end, I sort of imagined if Clint Eastwood and Holly Hunter would have a love child, that voice would be Beans. And yeah, and Gore, and when I first came onto the movie, Gore had already, prepared a little visual for me, and Beans was already, very stiff character, walking a certain way, very no nonsense, and I already knew who she was. He had created her in his own imagination before I even showed up. So, to be honest, I just stepped into his boots. I didn't really, create it from scratch. It was just the greatest. You got up in the morning and you went to work, and then you shot a movie / play on a soundstage with cameras and with the other actors. So there's a humanity to the voices, and there's a complicity and a chemistry between us all because we were interacting for once. It's so much more rewarding, obviously, than being in a sound booth in a traditional animated movie and feeling, you get so frustrated too because the director doesn't often even want to give you the line before your line. So you're just imagining somebody saying something and they don't want to tell you the plot because it's going to change and they haven't decided on who your character is. And so you chip away at this kind of block in a regular animated movie, and then you come at the end, you sort of go to the premiere and you're like, oh, I had no idea what was happening. It was like being in a glass bubble. But this was so much more hands-on and messy and fun. What I found just visually when I saw the movie so incredible was it felt like it was a three-dimensional movie because it just, the fur on the creatures and the wind and the stars and everything, all the images were just it was just so brilliantly done. I mean, the animators are incredible too. Johnny is just a total gentleman. He's brilliant, and I've always been attracted to his movies and gone to see them and been a fan, and since 21 Jump Street when I had his little poster on my wall. So for me it was just it was a total thrill to work with him, and he really is the way he approaches his work is so different from anyone else, and he really does make really interesting emotional choices within the scene and surprise you with a little mannerism or a tick. And every time he does a take, it's different. And so it's like watching, an amazing car changing gears on a racetrack. You're just blown away by how smooth it is. And then just personally, he's so funny and so nice, and he knows all the crew's name. And, there was a kissing scene in the movie, which I was very excited about. And then on the day when we were supposed to shoot it, I had a really sore throat, and I thought, oh no, I've got a cold. I don't want to give a cold to Johnny Depp. So I was deciding, should I confess? And then I won't get to smooch, and then I told him, and so I didn't get to do the kiss.